Good evening, everybody. This is my 7th video about my journey through cancer treatment. Today was the second treatment that I had, and like the first time, I learned a few things I didn't know and taught a few people a couple things they didn't know. We'll start off, and the reason I titled this Chemo Brain is because after the second treatment, it's hit me a little harder than the first. As you can see, I've now got my 3-pound weight anchor around my neck, giving me devil juice for the next 2 days. So sleep's going to be difficult, which is a shame because after the first treatment, for the first week, I felt weak. Couldn't do a lot without feeling exhausted and needing to lay down. By the second week, I was feeling better. And last night, I actually slept 8 hours undisturbed. I didn't have to get up and go to the bathroom. I just slept all night, which was awesome. You may find me jumping around a little bit in this video. That's because of Chemo Brain. And what that is when you take chemo, I guess it's a cumulative effect. The second time's hitting me harder than the first. My fingers and toes are feeling more of the cold. I get the needles in the fingers and toes like I described in an earlier video. And it's worse than it was the first time, and it doesn't take as much for it to come out as the first time. But Chemo Brain also refers to fog, a difficulty to concentrate, to focus on things, particularly for very long. I started a puzzle, a 1,500-piece puzzle, a week and a half ago. I was able to concentrate on it for about 15 minutes and just had some of the end pieces out, set aside to where I could start putting it together, and haven't touched it since, to where now it's back in the box, and I don't know when I'll get it back out and be able to work on it. I play video games, have forever. My video game of choice is called World of Warcraft. I've played it since 2004 when it came out. My sons got it into me, or got me into it. And then shortly thereafter, they got interested in girls and didn't want to play anymore. So I've been playing it for 20 years. But this week is going to be very difficult. I'm not going to be able to focus. Even though I've got a lot of time on my hands, I can't sit down and focus on playing a game like that. The best I can do is to sit down and play solitaire on the computer or on my laptop, because that only takes 3 or 4 minutes, so I can concentrate that long. When I told you that family members feel this stuff too, this also affects them, because and I don't say this for all wives out there, but for my wife. My wife likes to chatter, and she likes to know that I hear what she says. Well, this makes it much more difficult for me to concentrate and to understand what she's saying. So I say a lot of, "What was that? Can you say it again?" And I'm sure that's a bit irritating for her, but it's not, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just, I can't focus as well as I should right now. Another gentleman who I met today, him and his wife came in, and she sat with him during it, because it wasn't that busy when I went in. He has been on maintenance for the last couple of years. He's been taking chemo. He got diagnosed 7 years ago. And they told him, because he had it in his, I think his spine, and had it in spots in a couple other places, and originally told him that, you had the same 2 to 5 years. No, it's now 7 years. and he comes back monthly for about 2 hours to get a maintenance treatment. But him and his wife were sitting there, and I was chatting with him, mainly because the first time I went in there, everybody was so quiet. Everybody's in their own little world, and that doesn't work for me. So I had started up conversations. Well, this time, as soon as people came in, I started up conversations. And this gentleman, very nice gentleman, a little older than me, him and his wife both were very happy to talk to somebody. And found out that his is a different type of chemo treatment. Evidently, the chemo treatment changes based on the type of cancer that you have. So where I have the icicles down the throat from drinking something cold, or the needles in the fingers and toes for being out in the cold, he has what he calls metal mouth. When he was going through his chemo, and the heaviest part of it, he said what he developed was that everything tasted like he was biting into a piece of aluminum foil. So he only found a couple of things that he could eat and drink that he could taste that didn't cause this problem for him. And I found it very interesting that each of these medicines, I call them devil juice, that they put into you will have different side effects. Not necessarily that they're bad or going to do you any permanent harm, but it's just how they can affect the body once they get inside you. And people need to be aware of that. If somebody is going through that, or what I'm going through with the chemo brain, it probably takes a little more patience to have a conversation with them, because you can't concentrate as hard, and sometimes you'll have to repeat yourself. And it's not that they're not trying to listen to you or not trying to understand what you're saying. Their brain just has a little bit of fog on it, and it's a little slower catching up. One other thing that happened, you'll notice I'm in a different room. My office has been seized. Evidently my office, which was smaller than this, I have a much larger office. This used to be my wife's office. My office was smaller, but it tended to stay warmer. And my wife decided that she needed to be warm because, even though we have the temperature set in the mid-70s in this house, it seems like it's a lot colder. So, and she needs something to concentrate on and focus on. A lot of people are like that. They need the family members who are so worried about their loved ones who are going through this, need something to concentrate on. And so they may, suddenly want to take up painting a room or fixing something or doing something that gives them something to concentrate on. Well, she decided that she needed my office because it was warmer. So bless her. I mean, she did the majority of the work. I wasn't in any condition to lift heavy things and all that. So she has moved her computer room into my office, and all of my computer stuff and my desk and all into what was her office. Now, I think I got the better part of the deal because now I have a bigger TV over top of my screens than she's got, though I'm sure that's going to change eventually. It just is. But it's okay, and it gave her something to do, and it took her, 3 or 4 hours to get it done, and it gave her something to concentrate on, which is important because family members are going through what you're going through. In some ways, I think they go through it worse because they feel so helpless in fixing the problem that you're having. In a lot of ways, they don't understand, just like I don't understand, everything that goes into cancer treatments and cancer causes and why there isn't cures every day. That there's millions and millions of dollars have been poured into the pharmaceutical company to research this stuff. Why haven't they come up with cures? Are they making just too good of money treating it rather than curing it? I know where I fall, in my opinion. But anyway, I digress a little bit. Sorry, it's the keto brain, makes you kind of go off center. One of the big things we did between my first visit and this visit is I put out on Facebook about, you know, the blankets, and it was cold in there, and the little ladies that were coming in there, and you know, the blankets that they provide are kind of like gauze. It's not their fault. That's just who they contract with. So I put it out on Facebook, and I had friends from all over send me Amazon packages and drop them by my doorstep, to where I had, I don't know, probably 80 throw blankets. Me and the wife have been taking them to the center, which my center is only open 2 days a week, or Tuesdays and Thursdays. The nurses there are actually contracted by both Centra and Carillion to operate these chemo treatment centers. So 3 days a week, I think they're in Roanoke, and 2 days here. I found it very interesting, and I'm going to end up giving them some of the blankets to take to their patients back at their other facility, so that they can have that too. Because it's nice, and when I went in today, I saw a couple of people had taken the blankets that were in there, and it made me smile that everybody that helped, we could do just a little something to make their day more comfortable, and that's important. I know I've gone over it before. I'm not going to go over it again. I'll end with, I expect this week's going to be rough, at least as long as I'm wearing this 3-pound anchor shooting devil juice into me for the next 2 days. Sleep's going to be difficult. I did have, I was, as soon as I got done, able to eat a good dinner, which is unusual because I hadn't had an appetite for the beginning part of this. But I'm bringing it back some. So far, I'm down 60 pounds or so from this. It's a great way to lose weight, but don't try this at home, kids. I am a professional. You don't want to do it this way. And I don't know if it's, I know it's partly the cancer and partly that I'm eating 1 meal a day and maybe a snack. I needed to lose the weight, but at the end of it, it's liable to take a terrible toll on my wallet when I try and buy new clothes. I tend to have a certain set of clothes that are my favorites, that I'll wear them. I've probably got a whole closet full of clothes that I don't ever wear. There's 2 or 3 shirts, a couple of hoodies, some sweats, a pair of jeans. That's it. That's what I wear. And since I'm kind of homebound, that's kind of what I'm gonna wear. Anyway, I've gone on long enough with this one. The dogs have been very peaceful and quiet. The wife tried to take the dogs into the other room and shut the door, but Remo could not stand to be away from me, so he started barking and whining. So now that I've let him out, he's laid down here at the foot of my room where he can watch me and watch the front door. He's been that way, especially since I've been sick. He's been very much a protector. I hope y'all had a great Christmas. My thoughts on New Year's Eve is I'm probably going to wear sweats and sit on the couch, and I'll be perfectly happy to do that. Whatever your plans are, I hope they go great. I hope you have a great time with your family. Please hit the like button. It's the little hand with the thumb up on it. It helps it get this out farther. Every time somebody hits like, the algorithm boosts it a little bit and lets it be more visible to more and more people. So please, even if you think they suck, hit the like button. This conversation needs to take place. People need to understand what you're going through, what everybody's going through that has this disease and other diseases that they've kept private for so long. So please hit that like button and let's get it out there. And y'all have a great new year. I will talk to you soon. Take care.